You don't think economic freedom and political freedom come together? You don't think political democracy and capitalism are Siamese twins?
It looked like this up to a point, if we understand democracy in a very restrained way till now. But I think what we are witnessing in the last decades is precisely the beginning of divorce procedures between democracy and capitalism.
And you think the current malaise is with neoliberal capitalism, or is it with the actual democratic governance?
Both, because people are in a way dissatisfied with effects of liberal capitalism, especially people used to the so-called golden era of welfare state. But at the same time, they are becoming aware that the political system that we have, democracy the way we have it, cannot cope with this problem.
You think that there's a malaise with the idea of too many choices,
yeah,
too many decisions, on
yes,
too many levels of
because
life?
these choices are choices which have their own privileged choice of sexual orientation, job, you do whatever, you read whatever you want, and so on. But it is within a set of certain legal economic conditions which are more and more non-transparent. And people are beginning to feel this.
But in illiberal democracies, and I've been to Russia, I've been to Hungary recently, there's also these fences between the rich and the poor. There's also the gated communities. Now, this is a global phenomenon.
Yeah, global phenomenon. That's the sad thing. This is our future. And it doesn't even matter, are we formally still a liberal democracy or not? What, if there is something worth fighting for in liberal democracy, a more substantial idea of freedom, which I don't think it's still there, but only a strong, new, reinvented left can do it. First, we have ecological problems. I think they cannot be dealt with the political mechanisms we have today. Then, are we aware? Then finances. Of course, what banks are doing today, new regulations will be needed. Then, look at the problem of so-called intellectual property. We are almost entering communism there. Everyone is downloading movies, music, and so on. I think that intellectual property is the death of capitalism the way we know it. Then, there is genetics. I mean, what was till now a science fiction exaggeration, being controlled in a genetic way and so on, is now a serious prospect. When I was in China, I met a guy from their Academy of Sciences who told me openly and showed me a program. You know what they say in their official programmatic text? That the goal of biogenetics in China is to regulate physical and psychic welfare of the Chinese people. You have this nightmarish vision of us being controlled no longer through brainwashing propaganda, but at a more, who will do this? Who will control this? And finally, again, new gated communities, excluded, included. I think that economically, today's global capitalism cannot afford universal democratic freedom in the old bourgeois sense. You know, you have to have those who have full human rights, you have to have those who are outside.
So what you're saying is that the same bourgeois, the same capitalist mode of production that produced a certain working force, a certain middle class, that produced democracy, is now eroding democracy.
Yeah, that's my pessimist view, yes.
Because so Russia and Hungary and Singapore and China are now just awaiting a democratic wave?
Yes, that's the point. You put it nicely now. That we cannot any longer have this Fukuyama optimistic view. These are just remainders of the past. They didn't yet get it, but there is at the horizon some view of universal liberal democratic global civilization. No, they are the future, unfortunately. They are the future.